June woke up to the sound of hissing. It was 3 in the morning. His cat Miso stood on the bedroom dresser, back arched, fur standing up. The cat stared at the window as if something was there. "Miso, what's wrong?" June asked, rubbing his eyes. He turned on the lamp and walked to the window. The night sky looked normal. Stars twinkled. The moon was bright. But Miso kept hissing. June picked up his cat, feeling the animal shake in his hands. "There's nothing there, silly cat." But this was new. Miso was usually calm and quiet. The gray tabby had lived with June for 4 years and never acted like this before. June was a physicist at Seoul National University. He lived alone in a small apartment on the 10th floor of a tall building. His life was simple and quiet, just how he liked it. Wake up, feed Miso, go to work, come home, play with Miso, read books, sleep. Repeat. The next morning, June saw the news on his phone while eating breakfast. Strange lights seen in the night sky around the world, the headline said. People in many countries reported seeing flashes of blue light that moved in ways normal aircraft couldn't. "Just the northern lights or weather balloons," the news reporter said, quoting some government official. But June knew the northern lights didn't appear in places like Brazil or Kenya. His scientific mind became curious. At work, his colleague Han asked, "Did you see those lights last night?" "No," June said, "but my cat acted very strange." Han laughed. "Cats always act strange." "Not Miso," June said. Something scared him. That night, the same thing happened. Miso woke June up, hissing at the window. This time, June didn't turn on any lights. He watched in the dark. For a moment, he thought he saw a faint shimmer in the air outside, like heat rising from hot pavement. But when he blinked, it was gone. The next day, more news about lights in the sky. Now the military said they were testing new drones. But something didn't feel right to June. That evening, he set up his old camera on a tripod facing the window. If anything happened, it would record. Just after midnight, Miso started pacing around the apartment. The cat moved from window to window, tail swishing back and forth. June followed, watching. Miso stopped at the balcony door, crouching low, ears flat. June looked out at the night. At first, he saw nothing unusual. Then the air seemed to bend, like looking through clear water. The stars behind the shimmer moved in the wrong way. "What is that?" he whispered. Miso growled, a sound June had never heard his gentle cat make before. The shimmer grew larger, more visible. It wasn't his imagination. Something was there, something that bent light around it. June grabbed his phone and took pictures. The shimmer didn't show up on the screen. He tried video. Nothing. But Miso could see it. The cat's eyes followed the movement perfectly. June remembered reading that cats could see ultraviolet light that humans couldn't. Maybe there was more that cats could see. The shimmer moved closer to the glass door. Miso's growl grew louder. June's heart beat faster. He wasn't afraid yet, just extremely curious. His scientific mind wanted to understand what was happening. Then something changed. The shimmer became more solid. For just a second, June thought he saw a shape, tall, thin, with too many joints in its limbs. Then it was gone. Miso relaxed a little, sitting down but still watching the balcony. June couldn't sleep that night. He sat with his laptop, searching online for any information about the strange lights. Most websites called them aircraft or natural phenomena. But in some discussion groups, people shared stories about their pets acting strange, especially cats. "My cat saw something," one person wrote, "and I'm starting to think I should be worried about what it was." June looked at Miso, now sleeping peacefully on the couch. "What did you see?" he whispered. "And why can you see it when I can't?" He didn't know it yet, but the answer would change everything. 3 days passed. Miso kept watching the windows at night. June didn't see the shimmer again, but he knew something was out there. He couldn't focus at work. His mind kept going back to what he had seen. On the fourth day, someone knocked on his door. It was late evening, and Jun wasn't expecting visitors. He looked through the peephole and saw a man in a simple black suit. When Jun opened the door, the man bowed slightly. "Dr. Jun Kim," the man asked. "My name is Tak. I need to talk to you about what you and your cat have been seeing." Jun felt his heart beat faster. "How do you know about that?" Tak showed a military ID card. "May I come in?" Jun let him in, feeling both worried and relieved. Someone else knew something was happening. Tak looked around the apartment and spotted Miso, who was watching him carefully from the top of a bookshelf. "Your cat has good eyes," Tak said. "Better than most humans." "What's going on?" Jun asked. "What are those lights in the sky? What was that thing outside my window?" Tak sat down on Jun's couch. "We've been tracking them for 3 months now. They're not from Earth." Jun sat down too, legs suddenly weak. "Aliens? Real aliens?" "Yes. They use technology that bends light around them. We call it cloaking. Most people can't see them at all. Some can see a little shimmer, like you did. But cats..." Tak looked at Miso. "Cats can see them clearly. But why? How?" "We think it's because cats' eyes work differently than ours. They can see in ultraviolet range. These visitors give off energy in that range." Jun thought about this. As a physicist, he understood how light worked. So they're invisible to most technology too. "Yes. Our cameras, radar, most equipment can't detect them. We only found out they were here because of pets acting strangely, cats especially." Miso jumped down from the bookshelf and walked to Jun, rubbing against his leg. "What do they want?" Jun asked, petting his cat. "That's what we need to find out," Tak said. "They're watching us, mapping our cities, studying us. But they haven't tried to talk to us yet." "How many are there?" "We think about 50 scouts spread around the world." "They're just the first wave." Jun felt cold. "First wave?" Tak nodded. "We've detected signals going out from Earth to somewhere deep in space. They're reporting back to someone. And based on the signal patterns, we think whoever they're talking to is coming here." Jun looked at Miso, who was now sitting by the window again, watching. "Why are you telling me this?" "I'm just a physicist." "That's exactly why. We need scientists who understand light, energy, and radiation. Also," Tak pointed at Miso, "your cat is special. Most cats can see them, but yours does something more. It actively tracks them. We've been monitoring your building because of the alien activity here, and we noticed your cat's behavior is different. You've been watching us. Just from outside. Security cameras in the area. Sorry about that, but this is a matter of national, no, global security." Jun stroked Miso's fur. "So what do you want from us?" "We've set up a research lab outside the city. We're bringing together scientists and people whose pets can detect the visitors. We need your help to find a way to see them better, maybe even talk to them. And if they don't want to talk." Tak's face became serious. "Then we need to be ready for that too." Just then, Miso jumped up and hissed at the balcony door. Both men turned to look. The shimmer was back, larger than before. This time, Jun could make out a rough shape. It seemed to be watching them. "Don't move," Tak whispered, slowly reaching into his jacket. But before he could pull anything out, the shimmer vanished. "It hurt us," Jun said. "They're getting bolder," Tak replied. "We don't have much time. Will you come with us? Both you and Miso." Jun looked at his cat, then back at Tak. "When do we leave?" "Now," Tak said. "Pack what you need. We leave in 20 minutes." As Jun gathered his things, he wondered what he was getting into. But one thing was clear. The world was about to change forever. The research lab was hidden underground, beneath what looked like a small farm. Jun carried Miso in a cat carrier as they walked through long hallways with bright lights. People in lab coats and military uniforms hurried past them. "This has been here the whole time?" Jun asked, looking around in wonder. For 20 years, Tak said. It was built for studying unusual events. We never thought we'd use it for actual aliens. They entered a large room filled with computers and strange equipment. In one corner, Jun saw several cats in a large, comfortable area with toys and beds. A woman in a white coat was watching them. "That's Dr. Sue," Tak said. "She's our animal expert." Dr. Sue smiled and walked over. "You must be Jun. And this is the famous Miso." Jun nodded and opened the carrier. Miso stepped out carefully, looking around. "He's beautiful," Sue said. "May I?" Jun nodded, and Sue gently picked up Miso, checking his eyes. "Perfect vision," she said. "And look how his pupils react to the UV lights we have set up." Jun noticed special lights around the room that he hadn't seen before. "We've been studying how cats see these visitors," Sue explained. "But we still can't see them ourselves clearly. That's where you come in." "Me? I'm not a biologist." "No, but you understand light and energy. We need someone who can help us build a device to see what Miso sees." Over the next days, Jun worked hard. He studied how cat eyes worked. He looked at all the data the team had collected. He tested different lenses and sensors. "The problem," he told Tak one evening, "is that our cameras don't capture the right light range, and our eyes can't see it either." "So what's the solution?" Tak asked. Jun smiled. "We need to build a device that works like cat eyes but shows the images to human eyes." They called it the Feline Perception Amplifier, or FPA. It looked like big binoculars on a stand. Inside were special lenses and sensors that caught light the way cat eyes did, then changed it so human eyes could see it. "It's ready for testing," Jun said after a week of work. They set up the FPA in a room where Miso had been watching something unseen. The cat sat alert, eyes fixed on what looked like empty air to the humans. Jun looked through the FPA and gasped. There, clear as day, was an alien. It was tall and thin, with 4 long arms and skin that seemed to shine like glass. Its head had no nose or mouth Jun could see, but it had 3 large, dark eyes. "I can see it," Jun whispered. He stepped aside so Tak could look. "Incredible," Tak said. "It's mapping the room." They watched the alien move around, touching walls and equipment with long fingers. It seemed to be taking measurements or samples. Sue looked next. "There are more," she said, moving the FPA slightly. "Look, in the corner." Jun looked again. 3 more aliens were in the room, all doing similar work. "They don't know we can see them," Tak said. Jun adjusted some settings on the FPA, trying to see more clearly. Suddenly, there was a high-pitched sound. The aliens froze. Then they all turned to look directly at the FPA. "They know," Jun said, stepping back. Something in the device alerted them. The aliens moved quickly to the center of the room. One pulled out a small object that glowed brightly. "What are they doing?" Sue asked, worried. Miso hissed loudly, jumping off the table and running to Jun. The aliens vanished, but not like before. This time, there was a flash of light. "They've left," Tak said, checking readings on a tablet. "But they sent out a strong signal first." "To who?" Jun asked, picking up Miso. "To whoever they report to," Tak said grimly. "I think we just sped up their timeline." Sue looked worried. "What does that mean?" "It means," Tak said, "we need to prepare. They know we can see them now, and they're calling for backup." Jun held Miso close. "How much time do we have?" "Based on previous signals," Tak said, checking more data. "Days, maybe a week at most." "Until what?" Sue asked. "Until whoever is in charge arrives." 5 days after they first used the FPA, the sky changed. Jun was working on an improved version of the device when alarms started to sound throughout the underground lab. "What's happening?" he asked as Tak rushed into the room. "They're here," Tak said, his face pale. "Come see." They hurried to the main control room. Large screens showed news broadcasts from around the world. People were pointing at the sky in fear. Above major cities, New York, London, Beijing, and Seoul, huge dark shapes hung in the air. The alien ships were visible to everyone now. They were not hiding anymore. How big are they? June asked, staring at the screen showing Seoul. The main ship over Seoul is 3 kilometers long, someone said. The others are about half that size. Miso, who had been sleeping nearby, woke up and started to growl. The sound was deep and angry. On the screens, military jets flew near the ships but kept their distance. The ships did nothing, just hung in the sky like dark clouds. What are they waiting for? Sue asked. She had joined them in the control room. As if answering her question, all TV broadcasts suddenly cut out. The screens in the control room went dark. Then, a new image appeared. It was an alien, but not like the scouts they had seen before. This one was larger, with a body that seemed to glow from within. Its head had a crown-like growth, and its 6 eyes were bright blue. When it spoke, its voice was deep and seemed to come from everywhere at once. "People of Earth," it said in perfect English, "I am the luminous sovereign of the Stella Empire. Your world has been chosen to join our great family of planets." The room was silent as everyone listened. "For months, my scouts have studied your world and found it worthy. You will now receive the honor of serving the Empire. Your resources will help us grow. Your people will work for the greater good. This is a great day for your species." Tak clenched his fists. "They're not here to make friends. They're here to take over." The alien king continued, "Your leaders will meet with me tomorrow to discuss the terms of your service. Do not resist. We come with technology far beyond yours. To fight would bring only pain." The image changed to show massive weapons on the undersides of the alien ships. "But serve well, and you will be treated well. That is our way." The broadcast ended, and regular TV signals returned. News anchors looked shocked. People on the streets were panicking. "They think we're just going to give up," Sue said angrily. "Many will," Tak said. "Did you see those ships? Those weapons? Most countries will surrender rather than risk being destroyed." Jun was quiet, thinking. Then he looked at Miso, who was still growling at the screen. "Miso doesn't seem impressed by the luminous sovereign," he said. "Cats are hard to impress," Sue said with a small smile. Tak's phone rang. He answered, listened, then looked at Jun and Sue. "The president wants all our research on the aliens. Now." And he paused. "The alien king specifically asked for any human who has technology that can see through their cloaking." "That's us," Jun said. "They know about the FPA." "Yes," Tak said. "The king wants to meet the humans who saw past their invisibility." "Is that good or bad?" Sue asked. "I don't know," Tak replied. "But we've been ordered to bring the device and go to Seoul. The world leaders are gathering there for the first meeting with the king." "What about Miso?" Jun asked. "All research animals stay here," Tak said. "Orders from above." "No," Jun said firmly. "Miso comes with me. He's the reason we could see them at all." Tak looked like he might argue, then nodded. "Fine, but keep him in a carrier. We leave in 1 hour." As they prepared to go, Jun looked out a small window at the sky. The alien ship was visible even from this distance, a dark shape blocking the stars. "What do you think they really want?" he asked Sue as she helped him pack the FPA. "Power," she said simply. "Control. The same things invaders have always wanted." "And what do we do about it?" Sue smiled. "We find their weakness. Everything has one." Seoul was not the same city Jun remembered. Military vehicles filled the streets. Soldiers stood on every corner. The huge alien ship hung over the city like a dark moon, casting shadows on the buildings below. Tak drove them to a government building in the center of the city. Inside, officials from many countries rushed around, carrying papers and looking worried. "They're preparing for tomorrow's meeting with the alien king," Tak explained as they walked through the busy halls. Most countries are ready to accept the aliens' terms. Without even fighting? June asked, carrying Miso's cat carrier. What choice do they have? The alien weapons could destroy entire cities. They were given a small lab room to set up the FPA. June and Sue worked quickly to make sure it was working properly. Miso watched from his carrier, his eyes following something the humans couldn't see. There are scouts here, June said, looking through the FPA. They're watching us. Late that night, when most people had gone to sleep, Sue made an interesting discovery. Look at this, she said, showing June and Tak a sample under a microscope. I found it on Miso's fur. It must have come from one of the aliens when they were in the room with us. What is it? June asked. Some kind of pheromone, Sue explained. A chemical that affects behavior. And look what happens when I test it on different animal cells. She showed them the results. The pheromone made most animal cells change their electrical signals, the way they communicated. It's like a control signal, Sue said. It makes animal brains more willing to follow commands. It works on most mammals, dogs, monkeys, even human cells. But not cats, Jum guessed. No, cat cells don't respond to it at all. Tak looked thoughtful. So these aliens release chemicals that make other species want to obey them. That's how they control planets without fighting. Exactly, Sue said. And from what I can tell, the more complex the brain, the stronger the effect. Humans would be very susceptible. That explains why world leaders are so ready to give up, Jun said. They've been near the aliens. They're already being affected. But there's more, Sue said. The chemical has a specific pattern. It looks like it's designed to match the brain of the alien king. Everything about it suggests a hive structure, like bees or ants, but more complex. What does that mean? Tak asked. It means, Sue said, that the whole alien system depends on the king. He produces the master signal that all the others follow. Without him, their whole command structure might fall apart. Just then, Miso started making a strange sound. It wasn't a hiss or a growl. It was almost like he was in pain. June rushed to the carrier and opened it. What's wrong, buddy? Over the room's speakers, a message was playing, repeating the alien king's words from earlier. As soon as June turned it off, Miso calmed down. The sound, Sue said suddenly. It's not just the pheromones. There's something in the king's voice too. They did more tests, playing different parts of the alien king's message. Each time, Miso reacted badly to certain frequencies in the sound. The aliens communicate partly through sound patterns we can't fully hear, Jun said. And whatever they're saying, Miso doesn't like it. Can we use this? Tak asked. June thought for a moment. Maybe. If their communication uses specific frequencies, then other frequencies might disrupt it. Like feedback from a microphone, Sue added. The right sound could be very painful for them. And if the king is the most evolved, Jun said, with the most sensitive communication system, then he would be most affected by it. Tak finished. We might have found a weapon. They worked through the night, testing different sound patterns. By morning, they had built small devices that could emit the disruptive frequencies. It's not much, Jun said, holding one of the small black boxes they had made. But it's something. Tak looked at his watch. The meeting with the king starts in 3 hours. We need a plan. Sue looked at Miso, who was watching them with his bright eyes. I think, she said slowly, I have an idea. Cats, Sue said. We need more cats. Tak looked confused. What? Think about it, Sue explained. Cats can see the aliens naturally. Cats don't respond to their control chemicals, and cats hear the frequencies that seem to hurt the aliens. June nodded slowly. Cats are the perfect weapon against them. But how do we use them? Tak asked. We can't exactly train an army of cats. No, Sue said, but we can use what they can do. If we attach our sound devices to collars, the cats could carry them close to the aliens. Jun picked up Miso. Would you do that, buddy? Help us fight some aliens. Miso blinked slowly. I'll take that as a yes, Jun said. Tak made some calls. Within an hour, 10 more cats arrived at their lab room, brought from animal shelters nearby. This is crazy, Tak said as they fitted small sound devices to cat collars, fighting alien invaders with house cats. Sometimes the best weapons are the ones no one expects, Sue said. While they worked, Jun studied the data from the FPA. He noticed something new about the aliens. Look at this, he said, calling the others over. When we use the sound, their bodies have a strange reaction. It's like their cells start to vibrate wrong. Sue looked closely at the readings. Their biology is different from ours. They seem to use vibrations for everything. Communication, sensing their environment, maybe even thinking. So the right sound doesn't just hurt them, Jun said. It could completely disrupt their bodies. But will it be enough? Tak asked. We have 12 cats and small sound devices. They have spaceships and energy weapons. We don't need to beat their whole army, Jun said. Just the king. Without him, the others might not know what to do. As they finished preparing the cats, a message came through. All scientists and technical experts were to report to the main meeting hall. The alien king wanted to inspect Earth's technology before the official meeting. He's trying to find threats, Tak said. He knows humans will try to resist. What do we do? Sue asked. If we bring the FPA, he'll know what we've discovered. We have to go, Tak said. But we don't have to bring everything. They decided Jun would go with a basic version of the FPA. Sue would stay behind with the cats and the sound devices. Tak would go to the security meeting to learn more about the aliens' plans. Before they split up, Sue pulled Jun aside. I've been studying how these aliens think, she said. They're very hierarchical. Everything is about rank and position. Like a royal court, Jun said. Exactly. The king sees himself as far above everyone else. That's his weakness, his pride. And we can use that. Sue nodded. If he thinks he's examining inferior human technology, he won't be looking for a trap. Jun carried a simplified FPA to the main hall. Many scientists from different countries were there, showing their inventions and discoveries. Military leaders stood in groups talking quietly. Everyone looked nervous. Through the FPA, Jun could see alien scouts moving around the room, invisible to everyone else. They touched the human devices, scanning them with small tools. A hush fell over the room. The large doors at the end opened. Everyone turned to look. The alien king entered. Even without the FPA, everyone could see him clearly. He was taller than the scouts, his skin glowing with blue-green light. The crown-like growth on his head pulsed with energy. 4 guards walked beside him, carrying long staff-like weapons. The king moved slowly through the room, sometimes stopping to look at a human invention. He didn't speak, but Jun could feel a pressure in his head, like someone pushing against his thoughts. The pheromones. Jun whispered to himself. He's releasing them now. Around him, the other humans were becoming quiet and still. Their faces looked calm, almost sleepy. The king's chemicals were affecting them. But Jun had been prepared. Sue had given him a small mask coated with a chemical that blocked the alien pheromones. He could still think clearly. The king was getting closer. Jun gripped the FPA tightly and waited. Their plan depended on what happened next. The grand hall in Seoul was filled with people. World leaders sat in the front rows. Behind them were military officers, scientists, and reporters. The alien king stood on a raised platform, glowing with blue-green light. His guards formed a circle around him. Jun, Sue, and Tak sat near the back. Each wore the special masks that blocked the alien pheromones. Under their seats were the cat carriers. Operation Whisker is ready, Tak whispered. 6 cats, 6 sonic devices. Remember, Sue said quietly, we only get one chance. The alien king raised his 4 arms, and the room went silent. People of Earth, he said, his voice deep and powerful. Today your world joins the great Stella Empire. Your leaders have agreed to our terms. June looked at the world leaders. Their faces were blank, their eyes unfocused. The king's pheromones had affected them completely. Your people will serve us well, the king continued. Your resources will strengthen our empire. This is a great honor for your species. Sue checked her watch and nodded to June. It was time. June reached down and quietly opened Miso's carrier. The cat stepped out, the small black device blending in with his collar. Sue and Tak released the other cats from their carriers. The 6 cats looked around, their eyes fixed on things only they could see, the invisible alien scouts around the room. As is our custom, the king said, we will now perform the ritual of submission. Your leaders will kneel before me and accept my mark. The world leaders stood like robots and began walking toward the platform. June pressed a small button on his watch. The devices on the cats' collars became active, but made no sound humans could hear. Miso's ears went flat. Then he moved, running straight toward the platform. The other cats followed, weaving between people's legs. The alien guards didn't notice the cats. They couldn't see them as threats. But the cats could see the aliens perfectly. Miso reached the platform first and jumped up. He landed right in front of the alien king, the sonic device on his collar now just inches from the king's body. The king looked down, confused. Then his 3 eyes opened wide in what looked like shock. What is this creature? He asked, his voice suddenly less confident. The other cats reached the platform and surrounded the king. 6 sonic devices now pointed at him from all sides. June stood up. That, he said loudly, is a cat. And he sees you clearly. The king made a strange sound, like air escaping from a balloon. He tried to step back, but the cats moved with him. Impossible, the king said. Lower animals cannot resist our control. Cats aren't like other animals, Sue said, also standing now. And they don't like being told what to do. Suddenly, the king's body started to shake. The sound from the devices was affecting him. His glowing skin flickered. Guards, he called out. But the guards were confused, looking around as if they couldn't understand what was happening. Your control signal is being disrupted, Tak explained, joining June and Sue. Your guards can't hear you properly. The king made another strange sound, this one like pain. He fell to his knees, the crown-like growth on his head pulsing erratically. Stop this, he demanded. I am the luminous sovereign. And that, June said, pointing at Miso, is a house cat. He's not impressed by your title. The king collapsed completely, his body shaking harder. Around the room, people began to wake up from their trance-like state. The world leaders stopped walking and looked around in confusion. What's happening to me? The king gasped. Your biology depends on specific vibrations, Sue explained. Our cats are disrupting those vibrations. Without them, you can't control your guards or our people. Tak held up a small device. And right now, we're broadcasting this sound to every military base on Earth. Your ships are about to face a lot of confused aliens with no leader to guide them. The king looked at the cats surrounding him, his eyes showing fear for the first time. You never saw this coming, did you? June asked. You never saw the claws. Miso sat down directly in front of the fallen king and began to wash his paw, as if the ruler of a galactic empire wasn't worth his full attention. 1 week had passed since the cats took down the alien king. The world had changed completely. Without their leader, the aliens had fallen into confusion. Some tried to attack, but their coordination was gone. Earth's military forces, now free from the mind-controlling pheromones, fought back with new confidence. The sonic weapon was mass-produced and given to soldiers around the world. Ships that had once seemed unstoppable now retreated from the painful sound. Within 3 days, the huge mothership over Seoul lifted off and disappeared into space, along with most of the alien fleet. June sat in his apartment, watching the news. Miso lay on his lap, purring loudly. "They're calling you a hero," Jun told his cat, scratching behind Miso's ears. "The cat who saved the world." On the TV, reporters stood in front of military bases where captured alien scouts were being held. Scientists studied their technology, learning secrets that would advance human science by decades. The door buzzer rang. It was Sue and Tak, coming to visit. "The hero team arrives," Jun said, letting them in. "Don't call us that," Sue said, but she was smiling. "How's the world's most famous cat?" Miso looked up at the sound of her voice, then went back to his nap. "Same as always," Jun said. "He doesn't care about fame." They sat down with cups of tea. On Jun's coffee table was a new medal in a glass case, given to him by the president for his role in saving the world. "What happens now?" Jun asked Tak. "The military wants us to help study the alien technology," Tak said. "Especially their ships. We captured 3 of them intact." "And what about the king?" Sue asked. "Still in the special holding facility. He won't talk much, but we've learned a lot from him already." The alien king was being kept in a room lined with the sonic devices. It made him weak enough to contain but didn't hurt him too badly. Earth's leaders decided not to kill him. They wanted information, not revenge. "He finally told us the name of his empire," Tak said. "In their language, it translates to the Sovereign Claws of Destiny." Jun laughed. "That's ironic. They called themselves Claws but never saw our claws coming." "The best part," Sue added, "is that they've never been defeated before. Their whole strategy depends on their pheromones and mind control. When that failed, they had no backup plan." "Will they come back?" Jun asked, more serious now. Tak shook his head. "We don't think so. The king told us their empire doesn't fight losing battles. There are plenty of other planets for them to conquer, ones without cats." Sue picked up the medal from the table. "Have you seen these? They're giving them to cat owners around the world." The medal had a picture of a cat sitting tall, with the words "Earth's First Defense" written on it. "Cats are being adopted from shelters in record numbers," she continued. "Everyone wants their own alien detector now. People don't need alien invasions to appreciate cats," Jun said, looking down at Miso. "They're special all on their own." Outside, the sun was setting on a changed world. Countries that had been enemies now worked together. Humans had faced their biggest threat and survived, not through force or advanced weapons, but through understanding their own planet's creatures. That night, as Jun got ready for bed, he looked out his window at the stars. Somewhere out there, the aliens were telling stories about the strange planet they couldn't conquer, the planet protected by small furry guardians with sharp claws and sharper senses. Miso jumped onto the windowsill and pressed his head against Jun's hand. "You knew all along, didn't you?" Jun said softly. "You saw what we couldn't see." The cat blinked slowly at him, then turned to look at the stars. Jun smiled. For thousands of years, humans had looked up at the stars and wondered if they were alone. Now they knew they weren't, but they also knew they had allies right here on Earth, ones that had been living in their homes all along. Miso began to purr, a sound as old as the relationship between cats and humans. It seemed to say, "You're welcome. Now, can we have some treats?" Some things would never change, invasion or no invasion, and that was just fine with Jun. The end.